Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask Coach V. So excited. As always, I'm here with the brilliant coach, Ivon Martin. Hello, Coach Ivon.
Hey, coach, and welcome everyone to another great episode. I'm excited for this one. We got some good questions. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is the show where we do exactly what the title says. We ask Coach V. And for those of you that have been here before and seen this, you know you're going to get a ton of value out of it. So, guys, on this show, we're gifted here. We're lucky to have a top producing real estate agent, a master coach who's been in this industry forever, and I have the luck to run a wonderful coaching company with her and coach agents, and we've been doing this for years. So guys, we have a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and a lot of, actually getting together with agents that are in the business right now. We get the ground truth of what's going on. And so what we do in this series is we find questions, challenges, scenarios that agents are talking about, posting online, asking questions, and we bring them here and do what the title says. We ask Coach V, what would you do? What do you think? What's your answer? So that way you guys get to get the unfiltered 100% truth reality from a top professional like Coach V. And we just have a great discussion about it. It's a good time, right, Coach?
Oh my gosh, great discussion. We help you guys to think big and better, give you guys some strategies and power so you can run your business, elevate your production every day. So right away, actually, Coach, I want to ask you something. All of you, you know what? We care so much for you, and we here always giving you value, strategy, energy. Do me a favor, if you have not subscribed yet for our channel, do it right now because we always want to make sure you get the top of the line, the cutting edge strategies and what's working today in today's market. And we have the bell there for notification, and share this also with anyone and everyone that needs the knowledge, the power, the energy, the strategy to win. So I'm ready when you are, Coach. Are
All
you?
right, let's do it. So let's jump into our first question. I'll throw it up here on the screen. I'll read it. I'll share a little context and we'll get right into it and we'll see what Coach V says. So this one I saw posted in a big Facebook group and it led to a lot of discussion. So I'll just go ahead and read it and then I'll talk a little bit about what I saw and I'll let you get at it, Coach. So this was posted and the agent posted anonymously in the group. They didn't want to be identified. So they said, you get a call from your client at 8 p.m. asking to see a house tomorrow at 2. Right away, you put in a request to show it. I also sent a text asking if they had any offers. No response. I just called and left a voicemail, and I sent a follow-up text. My clients are coming from out of town specifically to see the house. How long would you wait before calling the office? Okay, so at face value, this question is not that interesting, maybe. Okay, it's just, okay, I got a text late. How long do I wait? The agent didn't respond to me right away. But why I like this one and why I wanted to talk about it is because of the huge argument that it caused in the comments. You can see there's 139 comments. So the first response was from an agent that said, that said 8 p.m. respectfully, it's not anyone's emergency to answer the phone that late. And then the first response to her was the listing agent better answer their phone. And guys, this is kind of what was repeated over and over and over in the comments. We had some agents that were saying, hey, we have lives, it's 8 o'clock at night. They'll, call them in the morning, they'll talk to you in the morning. And there were other people saying, what are you talking about? Like, you better answer the phone, you better respond, you better act right there. And there was a huge back and forth. So I really wanted to present not really the question to you, Coach, of when do I call the listing agent's office, but more so your take on this scenario. Should the agent jump to respond at 8 o'clock on Saturday night? Should the agent, not respond and do something tomorrow? Who's right in this argument of agents shouldn't have a life or agents should have a life?
Oh, Coach, this is such a great point, and I'm so glad you brought that way because this is actually the root of the matter here, right? What we do, right? So let me share this with you guys. If you are a buyer's agent, let's go to the place of the buyer, the buyer's agent. Do you really expect someone to jump for you immediately? No, right? Because people have their lives and everything. Now, at the same time, you text and you put a request through email or whatever app they use. Fantastic. Next morning, follow up again, follow up again, follow up again. How many times? as many times as possible until you get the result that you want. You become relentless. But don't judge and criticize, just follow up, because if you really want to make something happen, you make it happen. That's what the mindset is for the buyer's agent. They are busy. I don't know how many listings these guys have, but doesn't matter. It's 8 o'clock at night. Some people do shut off the mental office at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Now let's go back to the listing agent, because guys, you know me. If you follow me here, you know that I've been in this business for a long time. I sold over 1,000 homes and I've been coached since 2001. I know this business around. As a top agent who had a bunch of listings, because I was a listing machine, at one point I had 55 active listings. You hear that? 55 active listings and many, many contracts. So what I did is on my voicemail, I told them, everyone, my personal voicemail and my office voicemail, if you leave this message after 7:30 or after 6:30 p.m., your messages will be returned, or you're gonna get a phone call back next day. And by the way, all my listings are updated daily on MLS. For more information, go to my website or go to the MLS. Because you see, if you have a lot of listings and they are vacant, or some of them are vacant, you put here vacant in lockbox or so on, or call the seller at this number. I put my sellers there. Why? Because I didn't want it to be in a place that they couldn't reach me and they couldn't reach the seller. Now, some of you guys might say, Coach Ivon, I don't want to put my seller's number there. Well, that's your option. That's your prerogative. I did, and I explained my sellers the benefits of them reaching out to them directly. And I thought it was valuable, and my sellers like it because I coach them the benefits, the
And
importance.
exactly, you can show them what's nice about it, and a lot of them would like to have that control over who's
Yeah, the
seeing their
direct,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Direct approach. Because a home that shows faster and shows better sells faster and for more money. So again, look at you as buyer's agent. How do you approach? How's your mindset? And know that, hey, it's your job to make sure the appointment happen.
So, Coach, I think the kind of the practical answer here is easy, right? Which is that the buyer shouldn't necessarily expect someone to jump for them at the drop of a hat late at Saturday
Yeah,
night. And the seller should have plans and processes in place
the
to
seller agent.
facilitate the showing of their home, right? The selling agent. But that still leads back to our discussion that really caused so much vitriol and arguing of, this seller agent should answer the phone at any time of the night, or
Yeah, that's
they should do
bullshit.
this, and
Coach.
agents shouldn't do this, and your clients are paying you to help you, and you should be doing this. So can you talk a little bit about this mentality that some agents have, that real estate agents can't have a life, or you should be doing all this stuff? Because I have to be honest with you, it always surprises me, because this is, I think, one of the only industries where seems to be normalized and even celebrated.
And it's ridiculous. This psychology, this mentality of grinding. Look, I always say, you guys heard me say before, we're gonna hustle to get the listing, hustle to be relentless, hustle to set the appointment, hustle to follow up, hustle to get the listing done and sold. But grinding, suffering, having no life, that's ridiculous. All my clients, because you see, guys, write down, I have a lot of you guys here, my beautiful audience, new agents, veteran agents, superstar, top producers, team leaders. No matter where you are, you have a life. You have a business. And it's not what you say, it's how you say to your clients. My clients knew I had a life. I had kids and everything. And they knew I'm very effective and efficient. And I told them the process. What they want to know is to make sure you have a process in place, that everything happens no matter what. Even if you're on vacation, the business doesn't stop. Even if it's Saturday night, the business doesn't stop. There's software in place, the process in place to follow up and set appointments with the people. You have help, you have VA, whatever it is. So my point is, the clients, your buyers, your sellers, and some of you guys not going to understand, and that's the reason, Coach, is a lot of lack of immaturity. And I'll say it, it's a lot of craziness out there, because why shouldn't you have a life? If you burn out, you can't help anybody. If you don't have a life, you're gonna make mistake. If you're exhausted, you get a lawsuit and you make a mistake for the client. That's bullshit.
And the
I'll say
reality
it.
is, what does the buyer really gain at 9 o'clock at night?
It's
You
bullshit.
know,
It's ridiculous.
when we can set this up the next day. And
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I might be being a little harsh, and maybe you can call me out, Coach, if you think I am. But I look through some of those comments, and this isn't the first time that I've seen this discussion between agents, right? And this is a trend that I see. You know, the people that are the biggest advocates of this, agents shouldn't have lives, and what do you mean lives, and blah blah blah. For me, 90% of the time I see it's like young agents or agents that don't do that well.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that when you are good, you're running a business. You're running a business so that you can have the life you want. You're earning money so that you can do what you want to do. You're running an efficient business. Guys, the successful agents, they have processes in place that let the business work. When you call the doctor, you talk to the secretary or you talk to the, assistants.
Receptionist,
You
yeah.
talk to, the different people in the chain of command until you get to the agent. If you call them outside of their hours, guess what? You don't talk to them. If they have a message that says if it's an emergency, call 911, right? And there is nothing wrong with having professionalism, having processes in place, having business hours as a real estate agent. The issue is that agents don't set the expectations with their clients, and
Bingo.
they treat them a certain way, and they show them that it's okay to be treated a certain way. And then also there's like this romanticization of like, oh yeah, like you were saying, the grind and this and that. And I'm telling you, that's what I see a lot more
It's
in like younger agents
ridiculous.
and the agents that aren't really doing that well.
I know. So you gotta really filter and pay attention. Don't listen to the bullshit going on those comments because it's such a lack of maturity, such a lack of wisdom, such a lack of experience. Guys, I want you to listen to me. I coach people doing 300 million in volume. I myself sold a lot of homes. I was selling home every other day, and my clients didn't complain. My clients didn't complain. Why? Because I set clear, specific expectation with grace, skills, and I showed them the benefits. They knew I had systems and processes in place to streamline and make everything easy. They felt taken care. So don't listen to the story because that's the difference between the high performer and the low performer is the employee mentality. Oh, I have to be there all the time. Actually, the employee mentality doesn't even have that. It's a low performer mentality and the high performer,
Is
superstar. They know how to use this leverage. Listen, I return my calls. I had team. I had a TC, a listing coordinator slash assistant, and a part-time ad as well. Three people, my team, and I was selling over 135 homes per year, and I didn't have complaint. My survey at the close of escrow, they loved it. They loved the communication, they loved the service, and they knew actually I used the analogy of a doctor. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, when you work with me, you work with my team. Everyone is trained by me. Everyone is coached by me. We're like one unity. Everyone is ready, prepared. So by any chance, I answer your phone because I'm helping with another buyer that might be your buyer. The team will step up. You rest assured they know what to do. And I'm always here for you. I'm not playing golf. I do the most important things, but I am just like a doctor. I'm not doing every little minutia because I'm doing the most important things for you because that's what you want, correct? See, they
exactly. And
love
even
that.
if you're not at that level yet, guys, the agents are the ones that normalize this, don't have a life, answer the phone at 10 o'clock thing. If you don't treat that as normal,
Yeah,
your clients won't treat that as normal. So
yeah.
let's end this debate right now. Okay.
Yeah. And I
As a
want to
real
say this,
estate,
coach. I want to say this. If you don't respect yourself and value your time, nobody will. So don't expect to be treated with respect, value, and care if you don't respect yourself. If you return calls at 10 p.m., you tell everybody, there's your president. That's how I do business. So from now on, you just give your power, your life away. Sorry, coach. Go ahead.
it's okay. So what I was saying is let's end this debate right now. Agents can have lives,
Should
should
have
have
life.
lives, and should not feel obligated to answer the phone at all hours of the night. You guys need to make personal business decisions
Yes.
about your hours, your work time, and whatever you decide, be happy with it. If you decide that
Yeah.
you're not going to answer the phone after 6, hey, you might be losing out on some business because sometimes people work
Yeah.
and, they might need to reach out to you late. But if that's your decision, own it. And if you want to have something like that, especially, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I already say, like, no, I don't think you should because it's not helpful for any party. But if you wanted to decide, hey, at this time, I'm not doing this or this time, you want to go earlier, guys, just put processes in place. There's
The
so many
process.
tools out there where
Yeah.
people can schedule things, book things, get in contact
Yeah.
with you. And ultimately, you know what the easiest solution to all of this that solves all these problems? Just get good at returning your calls because there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with just calling that buyer agent back at 8 or 9 the next morning.
Yeah, return calls, have software to prompt response. And then, of course, if like I did one time going to a date with my husband at the time, I had a fantastic lead or something happened around the 7:30. I took a time because I made the decision to do it, but it was on my term because I want to. So you decide how you run your business and make sure that you do it well because you don't want to burn out and then you're not good for anybody else.
Yeah, and I would say one last thing before we go to the next question is if you ever see someone talking about celebrating the grind and that Asians shouldn't have lives and this and that, let's take a look at their production because I guarantee you the top producers, seven-figure earning agents, they're not celebrating not having a life. They're celebrating having a life and enjoying their success.
Yeah,
And that's what you should be doing and going for and trying to achieve.
yeah, and those people will have no life and then they get out of business and because they burn out or go sick, disease all the time.
All right, so
Next
let's go to
question.
our next question. So this one, a little more straightforward, and I think just a really good question. I think is super relevant, and I want to hear your answer, Coach. So I'm going to go ahead and share it. So this one I saw again posted in a social media group, and they said, "How do you respond? Why should I go with you when another agent has sold way more homes this year?" So guys, I think this is an objection that we've all seen different versions of, different variations of. It might be they've sold more homes in this neighborhood, they've sold more homes this year, or they sold more homes at this price point. They're all pretty similar, right? But basically, Coach, how do you respond to this? Why should I go with you when another agent has sold way more homes?
I love it. And what a great objection, right? So, by the way, if you're not 8, 9, 10, I would say even 9.5 to 10, and overcoming objection, you're losing a lot of business because this is a question, a fear, a concern in the mind of the consumer. Beautiful objection. So make sure you do the 3 steps framework that we teach you guys at VIP 101. If you don't know, reach out to us. We'll be happy to talk to you. Because again, when you know what to do, it saves time, money, and energy. And there's a framework. And a framework is like a recipe. It works every time in every market. So yeah, repeat, acknowledge, make sure he feels heard, validated, and important because he has a concern. You have to repeat, acknowledge, transition with now and what we know. So coach, how would you like to do this? And then handle the objection. Get into agreement so he knows what you're talking about and you're going to close. So, coach, I would you like to role play or would you want me to just explain? How would you like me to
No,
approach
we
this?
don't need to role play it, Coach. Let's just talk about what you would say and what you would do. So, guys, this is a pretty normal objection, right? And honestly, the buyer, the seller, whatever scenario it is, they're in the right for asking this, right?
Exactly.
You're a professional. You're getting ready to help them. They want to make sure that you are the person that can help them and the best one to do it. So Coach V mentioned framework. She talked about some things that you need to do, like repeating and acknowledging them to make them feel heard and validated before you transition to actually handling the objection. Let's talk about that handle part, Coach. How would you actually handle this? Like, what are some of the things that you might be able to say? What are some of the approaches that you might take when they say this?
Awesome. So after I make him feel important, validated, and understood, I'm going to specifically, with high level skills and elegantly pinpoint that yes, maybe John Smith sold more homes. Now, is that the most important criteria you're looking for? Because what I know is what happened if he sold more homes in the area there, but he sold homes for less price, or he ended up losing a lot of money for some people because he didn't negotiate. So I'm going to now bring the degree of separation between me and the other agent. I'm going to now to stack the benefits of work with me and whatever makes me better, whatever having to my unique value proposition, that's what I'm going to expand. It makes sense, Coach V?
Exactly, right?
So
Your
if
level of
I'm
service, your level of skills, the level of dedication and
competence,
exclusivity of working with fewer clients, you can frame things a lot of different ways, right? So the important thing here, guys, is when we get some sort of objection or challenge or something, whether it's, this specific one or commission or whatever, we need to figure out what is the root of
exactly.
this objection. What do they actually want to know? And what they actually want to know is, can you sell my home for the highest price? Give me the best experience. And are
That's the
you
best.
the
Yeah,
are you the best agent for me to pick?
yeah.
They don't ultimately care who sold X amount of homes. They are thinking that because they sold X amount of homes, that might make them the better agent, right? So your job is to take the focus away from the number of homes and put the focus on the result that they want so that you can
Exactly.
show them that you're the person in the best position to deliver that result.
Exactly. And that brings such a great point, Coach. And that brings you to a brilliant point that that's why you have to know your avatar. What do you mean, Coach Vanda? You have to know exactly what is his motivation or her motivation, her timing or his timing, and the personality style, because then you know how to direct the conversation. And of course, even importantly, what's your unique value proposition? What makes you different? Guys, I was a beginner once. And I use that really smartly. So what am I bring to the table? I'm relentless. I'm a go-getter. I have the energy. I'm on the best office in town. And then I drive that points in. But if you know, and at the end of the day, Coach Yvonne said the right thing, that you got to paraphrase. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what I really hear you say is, can you get me the highest amount for my home? Can you sell as fast as I can so I can be in Texas close to my grandkids as soon as I can? Can you avoid the stress and help me and take away my fear and problem and make it happen? Yes, I can. And let me show you how. Bam, bam, evidence, proof. And then you close elegantly. At the end of the day, Mr. Seller, isn't it really what you want? The safety for you, the highest amount, the best experience, the best knowledge. That's what I'm going to do. So today you're going to decide, do you want to just hire someone based on quantity, or do you want to hire someone based on quality, on result, and have that connection? Because that person, I bet everybody who works just work with the minions, with the team. See, now I tell them that maybe they not even talk to the main person.
Right. Bring
Now,
some
if I'm
doubt.
a team leader, I'm not going to go that
Of course.
the angle, because I'm a team leader, I have team agents. But if I'm new and I don't have a team, I'm going to say, is it possible that maybe you're not even talking to the person in charge? Maybe just talk to agents. When you hire me today, and then you do some neuro-linguistic programming, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when you hire me today, you hire me to protect you, to fight for you, to get the result for you. Isn't it that what you want? And when you call, I'm the one returning the call. It's not only some buyer's agent, someplace, someone. You're going to get the result done the best way by me. Isn't it that what you want? Let's go ahead and do
And
the right thing.
and here's
Guys,
another
this
pro
is such an
tip.
awesome thing.
Here's another pro tip as well, right? You can even use a little takeaway close
Yeah.
where you go through, so it sounds like, I hear your question. It sounds like what you're really asking is, can I do XYZ, deliver the things you want, right? Bring the focus back to that, away from the number of homes. And you go through all that stuff that Coach V said. If they are still having like doubts, well, but they do so well, everyone says they sell so much. I always see their signs everywhere. You can go into that takeaway close where you take yourself out of the picture and you can say, hey, I understand you. I hear where you're coming from. Look, this is such an important thing, the sale of your home. Bring the importance, bring like all this emotional baggage about, their equity in the home and the decision and the move and all these things. And then use that takeaway close. And here it is. Vanda, even if you don't hire me today, please don't hire someone just because they sold more homes or they sell more homes or they have a bigger team. Hire the person you trust, hire the person you believe in that's showing you, blah, 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 right? Then that's, guys, you can use that for a lot of objections, right? Even if you don't hire me today,
Yeah.
don't hire someone just because they're cutting their commission or hire and then bring it back to the stuff that they want that's important that you can deliver.
I love it. And if you want to really become a high level communicator, the best in the world, because you know your avatar, you know the personality style. So if they're amiable, you go over the process, you are holding the hands. You say nicely, of course, elegantly. You're going to hold the hands throughout the whole process, make sure they don't make a mistake. If they're analytical, you're going to go over the time of everything, all the detail. If they're expressive, the bottom line, but here's the point. If the driver, you go to the bottom line. If they are expressive, what's important for expressive? Status. So for me, I don't care about quantity. I want a quality. So it's like you can say, right? It's not about selling, 100 times, 100,000 Volkswagen. I want to buy a Ferrari. And for me, it's the experience. So you see, you can go on so many angles. If you know your avatar, you can speak to them what's important to them. And then you can handle the objection. Yeah, maybe they sell a lot of homes, but they sell first time buyer's home. They sell in small homes, first time buy. I sell luxury. So maybe I
Yeah,
don't
and a
sell,
lot of that's going to
yeah, a lot
depend
of
on the
angles.
context, right? It's going to
Exactly.
depend on the situation and how you frame it. But ultimately, guys, let's wrap it up with this: is when you get an objection like that, remember the real question they're asking is, are you the best agent for me? Right. And that's where you need to bring the focus away from the number of homes, but to what you're going to do for them, why they should work with you, what your benefits are, stacking the gold, your unique value proposition, and then close them on that. So, guys, we answered some great questions today,
Yes, we
some great
did.
ones. And I'll say this, let's just put a period on them. So, answer number one, yes, you should have a life. Answer number two is make the objection handling the main thing on the result for them. Forget the smoke screen is the number, right? That's we
Exactly.
want to get away from that and focus on what's in it for them. Right, coach?
Exactly, exactly. And the key is knowing how to present, how to overcome rejection, and become irreplaceable and unforgettable, and they will hire you. So thank you so much, Coach. What a brilliant call. I hope this was valuable for you. I hope some of you guys can even watch this again and share with someone who really needs, because again, guys, I'm gonna say this. I want you to really understand. Skills will set you free. Structure will set you free, and skill structure, and structure means having the process, the right systems in place, the right way to do business, will make you wealthy in every way. It will give you the life, the money, the joy, the vacation, and the life on your terms. So thank you again. Thank you, Coach. And I see you on our next episode, and go do your magic. Keep your energy high, and we love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.